Hey friends, it's Dan. I'd like to go over today some ways to release the soft tissue or myofascia in our lower leg, our calf muscle, our soleus muscle, the tibialis anterior, and maybe even peroneals. So we'll see what we can get to. If you have a foam roller, we'll start with the calf. Let me start with this leg. We'll start with the calf. I've got the calf on the foam roller. Okay. You can start with some ankle rolls. If I'm not getting a lot of pressure there, I can cross my other leg and bring it on top for a little bit of added weight. And I also have, which we're going to use later, the kettlebell there. If I want to hold a kettlebell and I want to span my leg left and right, okay? I want to maybe smash it left and right like this, grind into it. I want to practice flexing and extending at the ankle, dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. And remember, I've got that weight on there, and I can do this for as long as I feel comfortable. I can, after a while, that knot, it's really an adhesion between the muscle and the soft tissue, the soft tissue, like the muscle and the fascia. But it's commonly referred to as a knot, and if that knot releases on you, then move it along, find a new one. So I'm going to start rolling it down closer to the soleus now. I can feel it right there. Now I know I like a little bit more for my soleus, so I'm going to switch out from that foam roller to a block and a ball. All right. Now you could use a lacrosse ball. I normally do because it's nice and firm, but my lower legs are screaming because I've been doing a lot of barefoot hiking. So I'm going to take it a little bit easy today, but I can feel that soleus, and you can stay on that foam roller if that's all you have, or if you want to start with, if you think of the foam roller as like a hand, it's like broad sweeping strokes. The ball is more like a thumb that's going to get in there with more pressure and more acutely. So I'm going to cross the ankle again, that puts some more pressure, and I'm just going to slowly start doing some ankle rolls, a few in each direction. And this is also a great opportunity to practice your breathing. Nice deep belly breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. Sometimes I like to let it out, a big sigh through my mouth. And that can, one, help massage the vagus nerve, but also make sure that my jaw, my face, my tongue are not clenched and tight, and my teeth aren't grinding, because this can be a little uncomfortable. So I can not only get the posterior part of the soleus there, but I can lift it up and I can drop it on the lateral or the medial part of the soleus as well, and look for knots. Okay, so we got a lot to cover today, so that's where I'm going to stop for the calf and the soleus. You can spend as much time there as you want. Go back and forth between tools. If all you have is a kettlebell, a kettlebell is also great to work out that soleus and that calf. So no excuses if you don't have a foam roller or a lacrosse ball. So next I'm going to move on to the tibialis anterior. And that one, I'm going to show you a couple different ways. Mine are super, super tight. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways I like to release the tibialis anterior. So that's the muscle, commonly tight muscle causes the shin splints is that tibialis anterior. So you can see it originates up here at the bottom of the knee, goes all the way down the tibia, crosses over the front of the ankle down to the plantar fascia. So it's a very important muscle, and if I have clients with plantar fasciitis, we spend a lot of time releasing the soleus and the antib. So easy way to do this, which means not too intense, is I'm going to take that ball and I'm going to find up here, before you get to the knee, I'm going to use my finger and I'm going to find that soft spot. Okay, it's the soft spot next to the bone before the calf. So I'm going to find that soft spot, use my finger, it's kind of tender, then I know that's the spot. That's where I'm going to put the ball. All right, and I'm just going to pick up that foot off the ground, and as I squeeze that ball into that soft spot, I'm just going to start to circle the ankle again. A few times in each direction, practice flexion extension, and then I can even grind that ball in there. And then I can take a break, slide it down, and do it again. So I'm going to explore my antib and see where I want to spend the most time. And then when I find it, ooh, there it is. I'm going to show you a different way to put more pressure on that guy. You can use the floor here if you'd like, but what I like to do, because you can't circle the ankle too much when your foot's on the floor, you can lift it up off a block, right? Circle the ankle this way, and then guess what? There we go. 8 kilograms of added weight, really tacking down that tissue with that lacrosse ball. Oh, and it really smarts when I plantar flex. So I'm gonna focus on some plantar flexion. And you know what else would be cool? If I'll use my hand, but I would prefer to use a wall. I just don't want to readjust the camera and everything. But I'm gonna push into my hand. So I'm gonna try to push down on that gas pedal, but I'm not gonna let it move. And then I'll press all the way down, and I'll give it a little assisted plantar flexion. Maybe move it around a little bit, a little assisted dorsiflexion, and then push into my hand again. So that's a good way to do it.